What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at a anime which I recently watched the first season of, and I will be taking a look at season 2 and 3 of the next coming days. So this is today for season 1, tomorrow season 2, day after season 3, and this anime is called Rising of a Shield Hero, and it has been on my radar for quite some time. I did make a Lego custom of it all the way back when, and I am probably going to make more Lego customs on it as time goes on. Just give me a couple more days and I'll probably get some more Lego customs out for you, because some of the characters in this anime have some pretty cool sort of character designs. Not gonna lie, I definitely liked some of the characters here, so definitely expect Lego customs and also anime figure reviews when I do get my hands on some of them, because they're a little bit on the expensive side. But without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, Rising of the Shield Hero originally came out in 2019. It is a drama with 3 seasons and has a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 4.7 out of 5 on Crunchyroll. You can watch it on YouTube, Amazon Prime, Crunchyroll, and Netflix. When Naofumi arrives in an alternate universe and suffers betrayal and treachery from his comrades, he vows to become stronger and seek vengeance against them. Alright, so that's a quick rundown of the story, but how the story actually goes, and bear with me, this might be a little bit longer than 4 minutes because a lot of shit happens, so I'm going to go through the bare minimum that I have to. Our main character is an otaku. He's a nerd, he's a basic nerd. He goes outside, goes to a library when his money runs out, opens a book, reads the book about 4 main heroes, gets sucked inside the book. He meets up with 3 of the guys who have a sword, a spear, and a bow. He gets a shield. The shield is designated as the loser one, the nerd one, the basic one. No one likes shield. They all go talk to each other, and they're all from different versions of Japan, different multiversal dimensions of Japan, and they all get their own crew, their own team. Shield only gets 1 out of the sort of 12 people that come. Spear gets 5, Sword gets 3, and, other guy gets 3 or whatever. And they go, do missions, do basic shit. She gets him to spend all his money. She then takes it and steals it and sort of, gets the spear guy to sort of turn on him by saying, he was going to sexually assault her. He is then, put on trial. Everyone believes her, and he's singled out, and it's not true. He has evidence that it's not true, but she plants evidence to make it look like it's true and get his name sort of completely tarnished. The news spreads all over town, all over the city, all over the kingdom. Everyone fucking hates him, so he decides, you know what, fuck you all, I'm gonna become this dude. I'm gonna become this villain that you're all making me out to be. So he acts like a dick to everyone he comes across. He hires a slave, but treats them very nicely, makes sure they're well looked after, makes sure they're well taken care of, and it's a half girl, half raccoon, like a demi-human, which are basically treated like shit anyway, but he treats her quite nice. They then go on missions, and they fight waves, protecting towns, dueling for her to be free. He wins. He saves the town then starts to respect him. A load of other people start to respect him because he saved that one town. He takes on the second wave, he buys a bird, that bird turns into a girl and becomes a bird queen. They have a race, he wins, he frees the town. He then continues to fight with this woman who's a glass lady who whooped everyone's ass. He becomes strong. He's leveling up his shield, leveling up everyone else. The Pope doesn't like him and refuses to let him upgrade his stuff, and he's like, fuck you, we'll go do it ourselves. And they continue doing quests, unlocking stuff. They meet a girl who's actually the king's daughter, and he doesn't trust her, so he sends her away, and she comes back, and the queen's daughter, her sister's gonna try and kill her, and she has everyone hunting them down. He's like, no, go fuck yourself. They all get away, and they all fight, and they fight the Pope, they kill the Pope, and they run away to an island to get a load of XP. They're all friends again. They go to kill the queen and king, and they don't do that. They just change their name to Bitch and Trash, and
Then they fight 2 new guys who are working with glass, who come every wave, and then they own the city of demi-humans by the end of the series because the Queen owes a debt to them. I think that's everything that I covered, and I probably missed a load of stuff, and that is because my first complaint of the series is that the pacing is fucking terrible. There is 25 episodes, 20 minutes each, that works out to be roughly 8 hours long. I was here from 8 in the morning till 7 at night. This bitch felt like an eternity. I felt like I was trapped, I almost fell asleep, I was playing on my phone, and I was still being able to continue watching this because the first episode was actually 50 minutes long. The first episode was a long fucker, and it was literally just monologue. It was a lot of talking, a lot of sort of setting the stage with speech. It just felt like I was listening to someone read a book. It wasn't like an anime, it wasn't visual storytelling. It was just straight up monologuing, straight up telling you what was happening. There was no sort of subtle hinting or subtle build-up. It was just straight up, here you go, here's what's happening, have the dialogue. Like, this is happening because this is happening. And just a lot of talk. It was a lot of yap. And I didn't like that. It was just too much yap. There was too much talking in the first one that I didn't even have to look at the screen to know what was going on. They were literally explaining it and spoon-feeding me the information. I felt like a fucking toddler when watching the first episode. Then, after the first episode, it fucking sped through everything. They were jumping from thing to thing to thing. They were jumping from mission to mission to mission. Next thing, next thing, next thing. Every episode had like 4 or 5 different things that they were doing in it. They were speeding through shit. They were like chopping shit up, going straight through. Like, right, once that thing's finished, we're instantly onto the next thing, then instantly onto the next thing. No breathing room, no wiggle room. There was no time for filler in this series. It was straight up, straight up, straight up, and everything needed to happen this season. But I felt like they could have split this one into 2 seasons and had a little bit more time focusing on some of the more detailed things instead of speeding through everything and trying to cram as much as they possibly could into every episode. It felt like I was watching this for like 3 days. This felt so incredibly long. We got a lot of like character details though. We got a lot of character interactions, and the characters grew over the course of the series. Because there's only like 3 main characters, we got a lot of screen time with them, and we got to see them in a load of different scenarios, and we got to see them working together quite well, and see their sort of characters develop and learn and grow together over the course of these 25 episodes. But what they were doing, it was hard to follow, because it just kept sort of going straight to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And it was insane just how quick it was trying to go and trying to push you along, and it felt like you were being dragged. And the reason that it felt so long is because there was just so much happening. It felt like you watched a lot because there was a lot going on. It felt full. It felt in your face. And again, if they slowed it down a little bit, tried to flesh out some more situations, some more scenarios, I feel like it could have been a little bit better and a little bit more sort of easier to digest. I now understand why they spent the full first episode spoon-feeding you all this information. Because as soon as they're done spoon-feeding you, they kick you down a fucking hill covered in ice and watch you go down this ramp, this big-ass fucking hill, and launch you into fucking outer space. That's how fucking fast the show feels like it's going when it's moving from objective to objective to objective. It isn't introducing too many characters to you, so there isn't too many to focus on, but most of the side characters, again, don't get a lot of detail, don't get a lot of time to shine, or a lot of opportunities to show more than just their main sort of objective, their main focus. Sword Guy uses a sword. That's all he is. He's the cold-hearted, sort of straight-talking sword guy. Bow Guy is the smart one. That's it. Spear Guy, he's the flirt. He's the guy who likes the girls. He's the pervert. Princess, she's the evil one. She's the one in the background pulling the strings, and that's all they are. All the side characters are very flat, very 2D, and I would say fair enough if it was the NPC-esque characters, like the background characters, not the side characters. these side characters are actual people from different variations of Japan. So explore that. Get a look at how they are different, how they think different, how they act different, how they are different because their Japans are different. Not just, oh, I'm Sword, I'm straight talking dude, I'm the cool, calm, collected one. It feels, again, it just feels like you sped through it all and you're running on a treadmill at like fucking full whack. It needs to slow down and be able to like pick apart some of these characters, sort of let them grow, let them develop, let them flesh out, rather than just speeding through it. The characters that we do get to look at are actually alright. I quite like the main character. It's interesting to see his sort of fake front that he puts on to sort of try and push everyone away and give everyone that image that he is this evil shield guy, this shield demon that they all call him, and live up to the name and the sort of anger that they're all sort of feeling towards him. It makes him feel more human, and when he is nice, you get to see a little bit of the real side of him slip through, and you feel bad for the main character. You want him to be able to be himself and not feel like he has to be this like dickhead that everyone is telling him to be. And I've been through the situation that he sort of had at the start, where he was accused of something awful and everyone hates him for it, and it is genuinely like insane. Like, I didn't expect them to put that in anime, but I felt like a massive connection with this character when that happened, because I've been through a very similar thing, and it's an awful feeling. It is an awful feeling to have a lie like that and have no one believe you on your side. It is genuinely insane. Anime, it's a 7 out of 10 in my opinion though.